Welcome to iCode. Today I'm going to show you how to create a circular linked list, right? Here you can some facts about a circular linked list. Okay, first a linked list where nodes are connected circularly, right? You can see here the appearance of a sample circular linked list. Actually, this is a circular singly linked list, right? And the second fact is only one link is present for traversal, right? No two links as head and tail, which is called head, right? But you can maintain two references called head and tail according to your necessity, right? Can be implemented either as singly circular or doubly circular. Okay. Then useful in applications where the nodes are to be accessed repeatedly. For example, implementation the round robin approach for parallel application executions, right? I think you can find many useful real world scenarios by exploring online resources, right? You can do it. Okay, it's very pleasure if you subscribe to iCode, right? I will try to do my best. If you will get some knowledge from these videos, don't forget to subscribe, right? Now let's move to the web. Okay, now I'm going to create a circular linked list to store some characters, right? Means each node indicates a character. Okay, here I have created a project called data structures, and under data structures I have created called circular linked list, and now I'm going to create a new class. Okay, actually this is my node class, right? In the previous video we discussed how to implement a singly linked list and doubly linked list, and those videos we discussed about this node class, right? Okay, as I mentioned previously, now we are going to create a circular linked list to store some characters. Okay, then I need some attribute type char or characters. Let's take letter. Okay, then you guys know each node has a next pointer, so I'm creating a next pointer. It should be type node, right? Because the next pointer is used to store some memory address of a particular node, right? Right now I'm going to create the constructor, and when we create a new node we can assign the value to the attribute. This blue color letter indicates the attribute letter, and this right hand side letter indicates the parameter letter, right? You can use separate names to attribute and the parameter respectively. Okay, and at the beginning set next pointer to the null, right, as null. Okay, now we have created the node class. Okay, now I'm going to create another class. Let's take it as the CLL mean circular linked list, right? Okay, in this class we need two references to access the list, right, called head and tail. It should be type node, right, because we use these two references to access a particular node, right? And now I'm going to create the constructor. Okay, now I have created the constructor. Okay, you can see here at the beginning the tail reference and the head reference are set as null, right? It means at the beginning, okay, let me show you. Okay, now we have two references, head and tail, like this, and both references storing a null value, right? Okay, now I'm going to create a function to add nodes to the list, right? Let's take it as add nodes. Here we should pass some character, right? Because when we create a new node we need some character, right? Okay, then first we need some new node, right? So I'm going to create a new node. Okay, now we have a node. Now I'm going to add this new node to the list, right? Okay, now I'm going to explain the concept using a diagram. Now suppose this is our new node. The memory address of the node is 100, and it is storing A as a character, and the next pointer is null, right? It means it is not pointing to any next node, right? Now what we have to do is we have to point these two references to this new node, right? That is this 100 node. Okay, in order to do that, we should store the memory address 100 as well as the tail reference, head reference and tail reference. Okay. Then we have new two links like this. Okay, now let's see how it implement by using Java. Okay, if first we will check whether the list is empty or not, right? Okay, if it is equal to null, it means the list is empty, right? Then we can point both references to the new node. Okay, right. Now I have created these two links, and since this is a circular linked list, we have to create another new link like this. Right, because this is a circular linked list, there will be a new link like this, right? In order to do that, we can store here the memory address itself, right? That is 100. Okay, now let's see how to do that. Okay, in this way you can add a new node to an empty circular linked list, right? Now else mean okay, now suppose now we are going to add another node to the list, right? Now we have a node with us, right? Therefore the head reference and the tail reference are not equal to null, right? Okay, then it does not execute the if part. So now we have to implement this else part, right? Okay, now suppose this 200 node is the second node, and we are now we need to add this 200 node to the list, right? In order to do that, first we set this 200 node as the next node of this 100 node, right? So we can store here the memory address 200. Then this link doesn't exist. Then and we have a new link like this. Okay, first I will implement that link. Okay, then now after adding this 200 node to the list, now this is the tail node, right? So we need to move tail reference, right? Now we should point this tail reference to the 200 node. Okay, in order to do that, we can change this memory address to 200. Now this link doesn't exist anymore, and we have a new link like this. Alright, since this is a circular linked list, we should set the next node of this 200 node as the 100 node, right? In order to do that, we can store here the memory address of the 100 node, that is 100, and now we have a new link like this. Okay, now let's see how to implement about two links. First and the second step, move the tail reference to the new node. Right, now set the head node as the next node of the tail node. Okay, in this way you can create a circular linked list, right? Okay, let's try to add another node. Okay, now suppose this 300 node is the new node now, right? Now we are going to add this 300 node to the list, right? Okay, now we need this else part because now the head reference is not equal to null. Okay, so according to this first line, next point of the tail node is equal to new node. It means this is change as 300, and this link doesn't exist anymore, and we have a new link like this. Okay, now according to the second line, tail reference move to the new node. Okay, it means now this link doesn't exist anymore, and this is changed as 300, and we have a new link like this. Okay, finally, according to the third line, we said the head node as the next node of the tail node, right? It means now this is changing as 100. Now we have a new link like this. Okay, now you can see we can add more nodes to the list, but the procedure is same, right? Okay, now I'm going to create another function to print the list or traverse along the list, right? Let's say print, and we do not need to pass any parameters here, right? In this case, we need some temporary reference, right? It should be type node, because we use this temporary reference or temp reference to access a particular node, right? Here you can see now we have a temp reference and it is pointing to the head node. Okay, and then we need a while loop. Let's take the condition as right. I took the condition as temp dot next not equal to head, right? It means we are going to traverse along the list until we meet tail reference, right? Since this is a circular linked list, we can traverse along the list in a circular manner, right? It's like a recursive function. Okay, inside the while loop we can simply move the temp reference to the next node. These things were discussed in previous videos. You can check out that videos. I will provide the link in the description, right? Okay, here we need add assist out. Okay, we can print the letter by using this temp reference. Okay, now I'm going to create a driver class to run the program. Okay, first I'm going to create an object of circular linked list class, right? Let's take list. Okay, now I'm going to add some characters to the list, right? Yeah, okay, here you can see I have added 6 nodes to the list, right? The characters are A, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay, now let's try to traverse along the list. In order to traverse along the list, we can call a print function which we created previously. Okay, now running the program. Okay, here you can see the output. Okay, I will change it as it does not need new line here, some space here, and we can clearly identify the results. Okay, now you can see here, this is the output of the program A, B, C, D, E. Here you can see the last character F is missing, right? Here you can see we used condition as temp.next not equal to head, right? It means after temp reference comes to this point, that is 300 node, then check the condition now temp.next not equal to head, right? But in this position temp.next is equal to head, right? Therefore after temp reference comes to this position, the loop will be end, right? That's why we cannot see here the last character F, right? In order to print the last character, we can simply add here another sys out after completing the while loop and print the letter using temp reference. Okay, now let's check the output. Right, now you can see here the output A B C D E F, right? Okay, I would like to show you something. Okay, now let's check this link, right? That is the next point of the tail node is pointing to the head node, right? Let's check whether it is correct or not. And simply print. Here I have called, you can see a list.tail.next.letter, right? It means list.tail means this tail reference, right? Then the tail.next mean this next pointer, and the letter of the next pointer, right? It means we check what will be storing the next point of the tail node, right? You can see here the output A, right? That is same as the letter of the head node, right? It means this link exists in the list, right? Or further it means we have created a circular linked list, right? Okay, in this way you can create a circular linked list by using Java. If you got some knowledge from this video, don't forget to subscribe. And the next video, we will see how to insert a new node to the circular linked list. Right. Thanks for watching. Thank you.